Hey peeps, Creedmoor with the Bullish Bears. Going to give you a quick overview of the Infinity Futures trading platform. Now, really quick to cover my butt. Trading futures is volatile and is very hazardous. You need to make sure that you are only using money that you can afford to lose. There is a significant probability of loss due to the leverage that is applied to futures. So make sure you keep that in mind. Never go into the trade without a trade plan, and you are responsible for your trades and your trades only. Nobody at the Bullish Bears, nobody at Infinity, and nobody else is responsible for your trades but you. I am not a Series 7, Series 3, any of that. I am just an individual that utilizes the Infinity Futures platform to open myself up to other opportunities in life. It's a great tool. I like it. But again, all risks that you take are your own. Now, with that disclaimer out of the way, what's Infinity Futures? Well, like it says in the name, it's a futures platform, so to say. It's a two-part system. So Infinity Futures utilizes a system-based user interface here. You have your DOM, and then you have your scrolling contracts through here. And then they also have a charting system. Now, I'm not going to go too in-depth with the charting system, but so to say, it is a web-based charting system. There's really no lag on it. At minimal, maybe a tick. That's about it. It's more dependent on your system than their end. So if you have a really bad system, then yeah, the web charts are going to be bad because your system can't process the info. Definitely not on their end. So with that being said, I like the web-based charting, but I've been using Thinkorswim for a number of years now, and they allow you the freedom of being able to use another charting software and not taking a buttload of memory from your specific system. So this utilizes very little amount of system memory and the other finite uses of the platform, so you're not going to be bogging down your computer. In simple terms, this is about the equivalent of having a song playing in the background. That's how much resources it uses. It doesn't really use anything. So I like it. I can have Thinkorswim pulled up, which is pretty resource intensive, but still use this and have no delay. You can see how quick we're moving right through here. I like it. It's simple. It's easy. Another great thing about the Infinity Future system side here is it has just enough bells and whistles to be nice and customizable, but not so many bells and whistles that you're being bogged down. It doesn't have all these kind of different things and all these different setups. Look, when we're trading futures, we kind of stay in a niche. We're typically doing ES, NQ, maybe a couple of the bond setups on things. You know, there are very few people that are going to be across 20 different things. You know, you typically have your niche of 5 or 10. You're going to be doing currencies, you're going to be doing commodities, you're going to be doing oil, stuff like that. So you're going to have your list of things that you always go back to. You get that little list built up right here. Let's say you're just getting into futures and you're like, I got no idea what all that is. They actually make it really easy to find your stuff. So everyone knows that the mini the micro NQ, all of the micros have the M and then whatever they are in the front. So the ES mini, the micro contract is MES. For the NASDAQ, the NQ, the micro is MNQ. Just simply click on your down menu, type in M and then whatever you're looking for. Click on that, hit the blue plus symbol there. It's going to add it right to your system. Good, simple, quick, easy. There are about 3 different ways to place a trade using Infinity Futures. One is chart side based, so if you have their charting, then you can actually place a chart through their web platform through that web chart. So if you're on a train, on a plane, or even in an automobile, then you can still manage your trades with that charting system, even though you do not have your system side interface like this. You're just going to see the chart and you'll still be able to place your trades. You'll be able to drag your limits and everything all the way through there. I'll do a more in-depth video on that later on, but as of right now, I'm just going to focus mainly on these two here, the DOM and your main, I'm going to call this the lobby. I'm going to call it the lobby just to keep it easy, because this is where everyone's sitting. This is where everything's sitting, waiting to be acted upon. So right here in the lobby. So there are a number of different things you can do right here. The main things that you need to worry about are where your contracts are. If you wanted to place a trade through the lobby here, then yeah, you could do it. Is it the best? Not in my opinion. You know, when you have the DOM right there, this is kind of, archaic at best. You know, I mean, is it nice? Is it easy? Yeah, it's simple. You just click on what you're looking to do, and then you put in your quantity, your price, your buy or your sell, and your enter, and you're good to go. I prefer the DOM, so that's just my opinion. Now, what else do you need to do? This is where you set up the section for the color of the system, so how you want things colored. I like to keep it on the good American red, white, and blue system right through here. So that's simple. You can change the fill sounds if you want to put a custom sound or things of that nature. Your button actions, you can customize this to your heart's content. Like I said, it's just customizable enough to be useful, but not so customizable that it's a pain in the butt. Now, with that being said, the main thing right through here is the general. Two things you need to make sure you have checked. You want to make sure your scaling brackets is checked and your breakout brackets are checked. I don't necessarily like seeing my P&L. I know I have it right over here for the video, but I'm one of those people that believe watching your P&L during a trade is basically account suicide, because when you go into a trade, you need to have your predetermined designated levels. So watching your P&L is going to do nothing but bring hardship upon your brain. And I don't think anyone really wants that unless you're into like quantum physics and really hard things. Trying to manage your emotions through watching your P&L is going to be very difficult. So just take it to where it's off. You know, just make sure it's not display realized P&L. Nope. Click it off. Take it off. You won't have to worry about it. But I'm going to make sure that everything's clicked so we can see it right through here. All right, now making sure that I have my breakout brackets checked, scaling brackets are checked, and all of that's good. I hit apply. Apply, not apply. And then hit OK. All right, and that pretty much covers everything right in here. I mean, you can click on cumulative P&L and get your little setup there and see that, but there are some other things to do with it that are more in-depth. You can go check out their videos on that. I'm just kind of doing the 2,000-foot bird's eye view. If you click on C, that brings up the chart. If you click on D, that is how you bring up the DOM. So depth of market is what that stands for those who do not know. So make sure you click on whatever contract you're wanting to bring up. Click on the D and bada boom. Just like that, you got your DOM brought up. Now, if you want to take a contract off, you just click on it there and you hit the X and it gets out of the lobby. So simple, easy. Like I said, a lot of it's very intuitive, very small learning curve. Within the first really day, I was already up and about, taking care of a lot of different things. For someone that's brand new to all of this, maybe a week, but the user interface is very, very, very simple. So let's kind of move this up here to the side and start focusing on the DOM. So depth of market. This is going to allow you to see what's going on in the market and also place your trades. Now, first things foremost, you can see right now that this is not moving as far as that, but I can hit center and it'll center anything. You can hit auto center, but I find that a little difficult to work with when I'm trying to place a trade, just in my opinion, because I like to click on things instead of doing these buttons up here. I do use them, but not all the time. So what I like to do is unclick that, and from time to time I'll just hit center once things get kind of long, and I'm good to go. You can add volume to this, and you do that through the Properties tab. I'll get into that in a minute, but this is pretty much all you got right here, and it's all you really need. So it's going to let you know what your limit price is, what your stop price is, bid quantities through things, and then what our price is. All the good raw meat that you need to be a good futures trader right here. Not a lot of fancy bells and whistles. So let's go ahead and go over this. Net change from previous close, that is the market's net change from previous close. Our order quantity right through here, and you can see my little random 16. I'll go over that in a minute. These are just quick buttons. They allow you to select how many contracts you want to go in with. Typically with the ES, I do somewhere between 2 and 5 is what I like to work with. You can do more, you can do less. If you're just getting used to it, take your pick. You can customize that. Make sure you have quick click selected. If you do not, then you're going to be in a pain when you're trying to place your bid and your sells and do your brackets and all of that. So make sure you have quick click selected. Buy market, sell market, pretty self-explanatory. These are going to buy and sell your quantity at the market price. Join the bid, join the offer. Layman's term of just saying that's a limit. That's just going in with the limit. And then cancel all, cancels all. Reverse, let's say you're long a position, and then the market starts to go to the downside. You can reverse your position, taking your loss and working through things. Flatten, cancels everything, gets you out of every position. It's a good habit that if you do not plan to have any swing positions, just hit flatten. It's just one extra button click, and it makes sure that you are completely out of all your positions. It is no one's responsibility but yours to assume the loss because you just happened to forget you were in one or two contracts of the ES and then closed your system down, and you come back and the move's gone completely against you. Get into the habit of just hitting flatten right before you close everything, and you'll be good to go. So let's move down to the bracket features. So simple bracket. The simple bracket right here is exactly what it sounds like. What do you want your profit to be? What do you want your stop loss to be? Make sure for any of the orders in this little box here you have auto selected. If you do not have auto selected, it will not go through. Simple bracket, what's your profit? What's your loss? That's all it is. Now, trailing stop. Okay. What's going to be the trigger for everything? What's going to be your stop loss? And what's going to be your distance for this? So once this price has reached 2 points above where you got in, this will take effect. You're going to have this right here is a 6-point stop loss with a distance of 8 through here. So that's something to keep in mind. So as this goes up, you're good to go. I'll show you the quick example here. Dun, 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 dun. So there we go. That's going to involve something else. Hold on. All right, so I joined the bid. Our trailing stop is set way down here. And then as it moves up, points past this, that stop will make its way up. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm going to go ahead and flatten it just to go ahead and get out of it. So there we go. We're flattened. Actually, by the time the market orders went through, we made a little bit. So that's always fun. But that's something to keep in mind. So it works the same way standard trailing stop does. Next thing is multi-bracket. Now, what is multi-bracket? Well, I'm glad you asked. So this kind of gets us into the property section thing. Multi-bracket is going to allow you to not only scale out of a position, but once you get out of that initial setup, it will subtract from your stop loss XYZ amount, whatever you put into there, and then raise your stop loss up. So you have a self-adjusting stop loss. It's really, really cool. And then you can also do a multi-trailing as well. So multi-bracket, auto. Let's go ahead and get to the properties. One thing I want you to keep in mind is this group section as well. Let's open properties. Right here, the grid column. So if you want to add volume or take volume off or add or take away any of this stuff, all you got to do is click on it, move it up or down, and or remove it. Self-explanatory, pretty simple. Configure a quick click, 1 through 20. Right through here, you can set different quantity values for each specific account. So you can give them a call and go, hey, on the ES, I only want to be able to trade a maximum of 10 contracts. And then all of these buttons will only be able to be a variation of 1 to 10. Now you can open that and you can subtract that. So whatever works for you. Right now, this is set on 20. So we can see this little thing at 16. If I was to change that to, I don't know, 14. Bada boom. Now I have a button for 14 contracts, and if I want to get into something with 14 contracts, I just click on that, and boom, good to go. That is useful for when you are wanting to set those quantity values on specific things. So let's say for gold, you only want to be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 contracts, but for the NQ, you want to be able to do 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 contracts. You can configure those buttons however you so desire. And then you got your more fun stuff down there as well. All right, so set up multiple exits. This is the cool part. I really like this, especially with me streaming and everything. Sometimes I get distracted and I have to walk away, but I want to be able to scale out of my position accordingly. Or let's just say that you have issues with emotion and you can't necessarily control those as well as you want. Well, this is going to allow you to predetermine point levels that you're able to get out. Now, these profit targets, these are all in ticks. So 4 ticks is 1, 8 ticks is 2, and 12 ticks is 3 points. You can adjust it to 5, so it'd be a point and a tick. So whatever you so desire to go through here. This is the really cool part, your lot size through things. So if you've got a full setup of 6 contracts, once you reach 1 point, it will sell 2. Once you reach 2 points, it will sell 2 more. Once you reach 3 points, it will sell the last 2 of them. Now, if you accompanied that with a trailing stop loss, bada boom, you've got a really strong setup through there. You can adjust this to whatever you so desire. You can go all the way through. Doesn't matter. If you need to set it to 20, then set the darn thing to 20. It doesn't matter either way. So now I have that set up to where if I was to have enough contracts through there, then it would sell 20 of them once I reached the 3-point target. So 2, 2, pulling out my initial, and then this is letting the rest of that position ride. So really simple, really easy. I like it for the ability that, let's say I'm figuring on a choppy day, so I only want to take positions of maybe 5 to 6 contracts at a time. If I've only got 5 contracts, then it'll sell 2, it'll sell 2, and then it'll sell 1. Even though I only have 2, even though I have 2 here, it will still sell out that last contract at that 3-point mark. You can, if you're feeling that there's going to be a bigger move today, widen your point values, and then maybe you're going to put on a little bit heavier position, 2, 2, and 5. So, and then you also have a group C, which you can adjust through there as well. All of this stays specific to whatever DOM you are on. So you can have one of these for the ES, one for the NQ, one for the Russell, whatever fits your fancy. It's really simple and it's really easy. Now, this is for when you have a good plan and you're like, okay, it looks like it's going to go through these levels. This is what I'm working with. This is what I like. Let's say you don't have a general bias. What do? Breakout brackets. I really like this. So make sure you've got your order set up to limit right through there. Buy offset is 8 ticks. Sell offset is 8 ticks. You can adjust this to whatever you mean. So what does this do? Let's say you get the idea that if and only if the ES breaks 270 by 2 points to confirm the move, then I want to be long the ES. But let's say it rejects that level by 2 points. Then I want to be short the ES. This is going to allow you to put in a position to do exactly that. So if the ES got beyond, got 2 points beyond 270.70, you would get an order in there for a long position. So to buy 2 contracts or however many contracts you have. If it was to reject that 270 and give us some prints at 2 points below, you would then sell 2 contracts to ride that move. So this allows you to not necessarily have I'm not going to say an idea because you're going to have an idea that if it does this or that, but this isn't going to force you to have a biased one way or the other. So let's go ahead and hit OK. Now the reason I made sure to say make sure you have breakout brackets selected. So let's go with 5 contracts. And let's say if this is 2 points above 274 or 2 points below 274, then I want to get long or short that position. So make sure you have multi-bracket up, you have auto set up, you have your contracts, and you have your quick click. This is the only time you can click on the center of this DOM right here. So we're getting a little bit low. I'm going to do 270. I'm going to do 271. I want it to work. So I click on that. We can see 2 points above 271, 273, 5 contracts. If we hit 279.69, I'll sell 2 of them, or I'll sell 5 of them. All right, I just sold 5, and now my multi-bracket went through. So there we go, profit. And this is the next one, profit. So you see 2, 2, and 1. That's allowing me to scale out of that position as I'm talking, chatting, and doing everything that's necessary. You can set it up if you unclick auto. You can still do a bracketed order right through there, and you'll be good to go. That really depends on each person. I recommend having the bracketed order. It lets you to have a really complex, really strong order setup, in my opinion. So I like it all the way. Everyone's different. But that's the breakout brackets. Now, the multi-bracket through here, let me go ahead and flatten this position. So there we go, we're flat. So multi-bracket. We remember a second ago that on Group A, I had it set up with 2, 2, and 2, 4, 8, and 12. So 1 point, 2 point, 3 points. Well, let's go ahead and see what that would look like. Let's just do 5 contracts again. We'll join the bid. We see we have multi-bracket selected, and we hit auto. So join the bid. I'm in. 2 points, or 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point. And that's the third point up there. You can see how it scaled me out of that position I was going up. It does the same thing if you were wanting to short this. So you're still going to have your same profits, still going to have your same losses. So that's something to keep in mind. Sorry, I got a phone call real quick. I'll have to give him a call back here in a minute. Anyway, this is something that's really good. I really like it, and it's a solid system. But that pretty much covers everything with Infinity Futures. How you get in, how you get out, how you set things up. You're going to see me utilizing this a lot more in the near future. Ironic on that, or not ironic, but coincidence on the names. I like it. If you like something simple and you want to get into futures, this is really good. There's no platform fees. I can't remember off the top of my head what the commissions fees are. You can adjust that through there. You can open an LLC account the same as a personal account. It's really simple. I actually just finished my LLC account on that. It's $3,000 to fund the account initially. You can fund it with less, but because it's a wire transfer and stuff over, there may be a little bit of a different fee. So $3,000 is kind of the thing we really want you to start with, or not we, but they want you to start with. You can find all of the information about fees, funding. It's $1,000 day trade margin to begin with, day margin to begin with. No, I'm sorry, it's 5. It's 500 on certain things. 500 on certain, 1,000 on certain, and then 50 on the micros. Do keep in mind that because it is so low, there is a bit more of different leverage throughout there. So you got to make sure you keep an eye on that risk performance level. So just make sure you're doing your due diligence into everything. There'll be more information in the description below. Make sure you give Patrick an email. We'll put his email in the description below and tell him that you're from the BB community, the Bullish Bears community, and he'll be able to get you set up. Really cool guy. He'll give it to you straight and let you know, hey, this is or isn't for you. This is something you can work with. The whole team over there, Infinity Futures, nice people, solid people. They're not going to sugarcoat things on you. They're going to tell you how it is because, let's be honest, in this market, there's a lot of people that want to do a lot of sugarcoating and not tell you how it is. At the end of the day, we want to see you to be profitable, and sometimes you need a little tough love on that. Now, we're going to help you out to the best of our ability. They'll help you out to the best of their ability, but at the end of the day, the choice to make the trade is yours. Alrighty, people. Well, this has been Creedmoor with the Bullish Bears, and as always, remember, your trades are in the history, and I'll see you around.